In today's episode, the Rover 200. Hello, welcome back to Quarterlight. Now, Quarterlight, if you're new, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world. Car brochures like this one. So we've been looking at this bit of a series at the moment for Rover cars. Last week we looked at the Rover 800. We're now up to the Rover 200. So let's throw that brochure on the board and have a little look and see what's on offer. So here is the brochure we're looking at, proudly showing on the front cover the Rover Vitesse. The Rover 800s we looked at last week though, so if you missed that episode, I'll certainly do a link at the end of this one. Now we're up to the Rover 400s, and the year is 1989. Just a second before we get there, quick look at the contents page. So 800s we looked at last week, Rover 200s today, and the brochure also includes the Montego, Maestro, Metro and Mini. So Montego will be next week. And a quick word, I know somebody mentioned this, and I was going to try and save this actually till we actually got to the models, but you will notice the Austin name has now gone. All under the Rover banner, so we get the Rover 800, Rover 200 wearing the Rover name, but the cars that did wear the Austin badge are now unnamed, so we don't get a Rover Montego, Maestro, Rover Metro, Rover Mini at this time. They really just sort of said, well, we don't want the Austin name, but we're going to leave the rest of the models unbadged. Strange sort of philosophy. Kind of like saw it with the Princess. The Princess was just the Princess. I know a lot of people used to call them the Austin Princess, but it was just the Princess. But still, I don't understand that philosophy at this time. We'll just get rid of the Austin name and leave the model. So we're not getting the Rover Montego, even though this apparently is the Rover range of cars. We'll talk more when we get to the Montego though. Let's get to the Rover 200. So Rover 200s then, so basically where the nameplates quite some time ago now was the Triumph Acclaim. That turned into sort of a Rover branded name. We see it here. I often think of this as sort of watering down the Rover name, bringing smaller Rovers into the picture, but I guess at the end of the day we saw it with all models, didn't we? You know, tiny little BMWs and Mercedes, so why not water down the Rover too? Anyway, it sort of introduces this by saying Rover 200, the Rover 200 series, offering everything you'd expect of the Rover marque. Cosseting luxury, controlled power, dashing style at a surprisingly modest price. So I guess we're watering down the Rover name, but I guess we're making the smaller cars seem more upmarket. Think of things like keeping up appearances, of course. Anyway, let's see how the range starts. So affordable luxury really was the name of the game with having these smaller Rovers. So it starts here though with not really a very luxurious model, the 213S. Thankfully we do get a 216S now, so that's nice to see. But let's see how it introduces this. So it tells us first class travel doesn't have to cost the earth. Not when you drive a Rover thoroughbred. The Rover 213S and 216S offer you a new experience in luxury. Whether you're heading for Manchester or Monte Carlo, you'll love the comfort. Settle into velvet seat facings. So that's not bad, is it, for a base model to get velvet seat facings? Not too long ago, that would have been a top of the range car, of course. Enjoy the special atmosphere that you only find in a Rover. The driver's car feel of the centre console and controls, the rake adjustable steering wheel. The equipment with a screened glass sunroof and bronze tinted glass, the pleasure of the 4-speaker electronic stereo radio cassette player, now with a built-in security code to deter the would-be thief. There's a 5-speed gearbox, which is a sheer delight to use, and a tachometer too, reminding you that you're driving a car which is fast as well as quiet, and which can handle hairpin bends as easy as Hyde Park Corner. Given its head, the Rover 213S will outsprint a number of larger engined rivals, whilst the Rover 216S will comfortably do over 100 miles per hour where the low permits. And if you think that this kind of power could make it rather less than frugal, you may like to know that the 216S returns up to 55.8 miles per gallon at a constant 56. A thought which is just as comforting as Rover Luxury. We get a little bit of a look to show, yes indeed, on these lowly models we are even getting a rev counter. So in reality, the 213s, 216s weren't like luxurious vehicles, but for a base model, not too bad I think. A little bit of a look at the main image, let's just zoom in a bit further. So this one, considering it's supposed to be a main image, isn't the best picture in the world. I don't know why they do these sort of darkened images. I did like how they treated the rear lights at this time though. I think that's approved. Fog lamps now, when we used to look at cars of old, of course fog lamps used to be tacked on as a bit of an afterthought. Now they're in the bumper there to get broken. I'm not sure why they placed them there, but anyway. This is the 216S, so the large engine one, but we can certainly see we've got wheel trims, although rather nicely there is a look of a bit of a sunroof on there. Interior, pleasant enough, nice velvet seats. I do approve of the seat material, although you'll notice sort of where you would sort of expect to see Rover sort of wood inserts there, we've just got sort of black plastic. So moving up the range meant moving to the 213 SE Auto and the 216 SE EFI. And moving up just that one model seemed to make a big difference actually. I mean, you can see straight away we've got the wood insert that just seems very Rover. It feels it should be there. Although, on the other hand, the problem with Rover, I think, it was sort of like, it's this sort of nice luxury feel, but did young buyers want this? Did they want this sort of old-fashioned car with wood inserts in what it's claiming to be quite a fast little car? It wasn't really that fast, but you know what I mean. They're trying to sell it also as quite a sprightly car as well. Did young buyers want wood in their cars? Did they want that old-fashioned image? I'm not really too sure about that. So you did find a lot of these being sold to more mature buyers for what is a car that's really more suitable really for like small families, younger people, but I think that was the problem with Rover. Anyway, try not to waffle, we've got a lot to get through. Let's have a look at the text. The Rover 200 series is one of life's entirely pleasant surprises, giving you luxury and power which surpass your expectations, at a price which is well below them. The Rover 213 SE offers you the relaxed driving style of automatic transmission, smooth but lively and capable of a clear class leading 37.3 miles per gallon around town. Relax into that sumptuous interior and you're surrounded by Rover luxury. The traditional elegance of bare walls on the doors, comfortable seats, lavishly trimmed, a touch of practicality with the rear seats hatch, giving plenty of room for sports gear. Look for the refinement you love and you'll find them all. A screen glass sunroof for extra light and fresh air on demand. Central locking, of course, and front windows operated at the touch of a switch. There's the convenience of electric door mirrors, which are also heated, and those quiet, fast journeys take on a really special pleasure with the 6-speaker hi-fi system, now security coded and with auto reverse, among other useful features. The Rover 216 SE EFI is powered by the 104 PS fuel-injected 1.6 engine, giving you exhilarating performance. 30 to 50 in 4th gear takes you just 9.4 seconds, top speed 108. And with that silky 5-speed gearbox is a car you'll love to drive. 4-speed automatic transmission is optional at extra cost. You'll have all the cosseting SE luxuries, but with some added, or should I say additional refinements too, such as rear electric windows and a built-in delay for the Kirsty lamp to let you get settled comfortably at night. Rover, isn't it nice to know that one car lives up to your standards? So yeah, we're still kind of like putting that sort of pompous, your standards. You've got high standards, you want high standards in the car because you think you're better than everyone else. I think it was a very sort of pompous sort of marketing strategy, really. Yeah, it's nice to see a few luxuries in this size of the car, but sort of it's not really, I don't know, I don't think it really fits to what everybody wanted. And surely what you wanted to do with a car of this size was to appeal to as many possible people as you can. Of course, when you get to larger vehicles, more executive vehicles, you can have that bit more of a pompous attitude because, executives were your buyers. Executives really aren't the buyer in these smaller Rovers. So I think the whole marketing was very polarising, really, and who knows, maybe that's where Rover went wrong, I don't know. I'm no expert, of course. Let's have a look on the interior, though. So yeah, a quite nice looking interior actually, and I think at this spec level pretty well equipped as well, and we get a nice little bit of a wood in that sort of Rover tradition. We can go further though. So here we go, going up the range now, and already this is just the third model up and we're straight into the Vanden Plas. Yeah, I'm still refusing to call it the Vanden Plas or Plaz, because even in 1989 these were still not marketed as anything other than the Vanden Plas in the UK, and really this is a bit of a history channel, so let's just stick to what they were known at this time, I think. Yes, comments will flood with you saying it wrong, but I don't care. I'm old. I'm allowed to. Anyway, we'll have a look at the text, we'll come back and have a look at the interior. It tells us when you deserve a reward for effort, one car does it rather better, and for a great deal less. The Rover 216 Vanden Plas EFI. As you take your place at the leather-rimmed steering wheel, you may well pause and look around you, sensing the luxury that is pure traditional Rover. The seats are trimmed in magnificent ruched leather. The doors have handcrafted burr walnut inserts. Start up that quiet but potent engine and take to the road. You begin to appreciate all the modern Rover refinements. A splendid music system, now security coded, to console you in rush hour jams, the convenience of electric windows front and rear. There's even the luxury of an electrically operated sunroof. For dedicated lovers of the good life, air conditioning is available as an extra cost option. Get into the fast lane and you'll find further surprises in store. The Vanden Plas is a full-blooded sporting saloon with ventilated front disc brakes, superb handling and a fuel-injected engine capable of a 9.6 second 0 to 60 time, taking alpine roads or the autostrada with the same effortless ease. High-powered luxury designed by Rover, created for you. How lovely. So yeah, more of that sort of I'm better than you type marketing plan, but I think the sort of the Vanden Plas kind of like fitted more with that, so I kind of like excuse it a bit more. I think if you wanted a Rover 200, I think the Vanden Plas was really the model you wanted because it fitted in with that sort of marketing strategy of luxury, although we still got plastic wheel trims on there, but never mind. We'll have a look at some more images. So a couple of images here. Firstly, the one on the left, I guess, is showing the stereo system and also showing you electric windows all round, which is nice for the time. Vanden Plas badge proudly scripted on the boot there, and a little EFI badge there too. Main image is what it was already all about. It does look quite luxurious for the size of car at this time, so certainly that's sort of a little bit of a luxury in a smaller package kind of like makes a bit more sense with this car, I think. Unfortunately, it folds. Considering it's really showing off this interior, they decide to make it heavily fold on the crease, which seems a little bit crazy. But anyway, that isn't the end of the range. There is one more model, the Rover 216 Vitesse, and I must admit this is a model I never really could get my head around. I could understand the Van der Ploeg because they're going on about luxury in a small package, affordable luxury. I get where they're coming from. I don't get where they're coming from for the Vitesse, because it never really looked sporty, particularly when you looked at the competition. It looked a bit of an oddball, and it's still that same 216, so still a 1.6 litre engine, so it was a little bit faster than a Van der Ploeg, but really by not very much. A little bit of a strange one, but still, they were always nice to see something a little bit different. Anyway, we'll have a look at the text. It tells us to drive the Rover 216 Vitesse, and you'll notice a number of advantages over ordinary sporting saloons, not just in the performance or the luxury pedigree, but also the price. The sporting stance hits at your taste for power discreetly, but unmistakably, with the aerodynamic deep front air dam, boot lid spoiler and sports alloy wheels. At the wheel, you'll shamelessly indulge in all the luxuries you'd love but don't always expect. A wraparound driver's cockpit, velvet faced sports seats, the comfort that leaves you cool and unruffled after a fast run down to Nice. En route, you'll have the company of a superb 6-speaker in-car entertainment system, now with a built-in security code. Theft deterrent is on about that all the time, isn't it? And all those other Rover luxuries. Electric windows, the pleasure of a screened glass sunroof. Put your foot down and you discover another side to that civilised character. Ventilated front discs and wide low-profile tyres take you out of the corners with cat-like agility. The close ratio gearbox and fuel-injected engine deliver a top speed of 112, 0 to 60 now 9.4 seconds. Power that will get you considerably ahead of the pack, apparently. And yeah, overall, I mean, particularly in this red, it does look nice, and I do particularly like the alloy wheels they've thrown on these. I don't know why they couldn't throw them on the Van der Ploeg too, but there we go. I think the problem was this sort of like sporty car of this size was really there to appeal to sort of the younger audience, but then we got this very staid Rover image, so did it really appeal to the right car buyer? Like I say, I understand the Van der Ploeg, I don't understand the Vitesse on a 200 series. Maybe if they kept the Triumph name, Triumph always seemed to be a bit more of a sporty heritage. The Triumph, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The Triumph Acclaim Sprint, I don't know. But you see what I'm saying. Odd little image there, I guess, showing the Rover door sill, but also looks like the boot and fuel flap release. Close-up look at one of the sporty seats, and then the main interior shot. Seats trying to look a little bit sporty. We've got a little bit of red on there, we've got a bit of bolstering on there, but then we've got the wood on there as well. That confuses me. But anyway, that is the Rover 200 range, and that is a look at the engine range, so the models with the engines by the side of it and also the PS. So yeah, we're not seeing too much extra on that Vitesse relay. The little star there is talking about unleaded fuel compatible, oddly, on what looks like the older models, but not the injection. Anyway, moving on, we do have a couple of extra little images. This rear shot I do particularly like, just to show you how it was badged, the Rover Vitesse. EFI now in red. A little bit of a red insert on the bumper to denote sporty, and even a little bit of a boot spoiler on there as well. But anyway, let's wrap that one up. And sadly, I know someone mentioned last week when we was looking at the 800, sadly no colour charts. And on the previously earlier 80s, Austin Rover used to put the most beautiful colour chart right in the centre of these pages, and it was probably the best colour chart out of any manufacturer. It was such a nice glossy chart. Cost cutting? I don't know. They didn't bother by the time it was the Rover group, I guess. But thank you so much for watching today. Do you remember the Rover 200s? Please jot it in the comments. Anything you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, please jot that too. I love everyone's opinion, but thank you so much for watching today. We'll end, as we always do, by saying thank you for taking your time to watch Quartzlight today. Very much appreciated. If you've not done already, please do consider subscribing. Completely free, keeps you in touch with the channel. You can also click the little bell to see when new episodes arrive. But there's at least 3 episodes a week. Next week, of course, Montego. What also you can become a member now as well for a very small fee each month. I think there's 3 levels. You don't get any extra for whatever level you pick. Purely the 3 levels there to really say how much do you want to donate to Quartzlight to, help us keep making these videos. So any level you pick, I'm overwhelmed with the generosity there, but thank you for those who have become a member, and for doing that you will get an extra short little update episode each week, and also get to see some of the episodes sooner than everybody else. But thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. We'll see you very soon. All the best and goodbye.